Legal 3937. 7479.
Canada 895, maintain present speed, so to maintain 10,000. Your runway is 4.
Hi, this is Bill Plane Tower 3D Pro. Got it set up for St. Thomas, 8 a.m., random weather, 100% traffic. Got it set for runway 10 as the arrival. St. Thomas is kind of slow at this time, so there's going to be probably maybe 4 or 5 planes, more or less. So I'm going to do a lot of fading in, fading out. The only reason why I'm doing it is because it came with the game pack, St. Thomas, so I'm using it since I paid for it. Alright, be right back.
St. Thomas Tower, JetBlue 1035 requesting push and start.
JetBlue 1035, pushback approved, expect runway 10.
Ground, 10 pushback approved. JetBlue 1035.
Yeah, I don't know how long this video will be. I'm going to show the actual taxiing down the end of the runway, them taking off. But then if anybody comes in to land, instead of waiting for them to get close, I'll speed it up. I'll do the fade in, fade out. These tug drivers, man, they just keep whipping these guys around.
St. Thomas ground, JetBlue 1035 ready to taxi.
JetBlue 1035, runway 10.
Runway 10 JetBlue 1035.
Come on, JetBlue. The graphics are pretty cool on this. I like the way the water is. It's got a few ripples, it's pretty calm. I think JetBlue's out of corporate headquarters is Long Island, Queens, Long Island. Well, it's New York, Queens, New York. They're out of JFK. You also got, really wouldn't call them headquarters, they're more like regional terminals. There's one in Orlando where JetBlue flies out of there. They got a bunch of JetBlues down there. Orlando, that's Florida. Utah, and you fly a lot out of Salt Lake City. I know they go to South America, they go to the Caribbean. I think they just past couple of years started going to the Caribbean. But they go to Mexico, South America. It's something else. Sorry, why they're texting. I'm trying to get something done here. Alright, it's all filed and ready to put away. JetBlue 1035, runway 10, line up and wait.
Runway 10 line up and wait JetBlue 1035.
That JetBlue there is a Bombardier. Bombardier 190. Bombardier is manufactured down in, I think it's Brazil, South America. I don't think it's Colombia, I think it's Brazil. JetBlue 1035, wind 84 at 10 knots, runway 10, cleared for takeoff.
Negative. JetBlue 1035.
Sorry about that, they came on kind of quick. JetBlue 1035, wind 84 at 10 knots, runway 10, cleared for takeoff.
Wind is 84 at 10 knots, runway 10 cleared for takeoff JetBlue 1035.
See ya. I like bombardiers. I noticed they do a lot before this game, but the landing gear never retracts. Now I'll say now I will retract. Nope, still in there. Yeah, they simulate the exhaust and all that, but they never retract the gear. JetBlue 1035, contact departure. Good morning.
Roger, good morning.
Yeah, there's a, you got a YouTube put in Boston John. He's an air traffic controller. He does approaches and takeoff clearances for Boston. You know, every time a JetBlue contacts him, he's like, JetBlue! Pretty funny guy. Oops. Alright, we're back. As you can see, Delta's beacons are beaconing. Alright, that was stupid. Anyway, that's usually when they're going to be pushing back here in about 5 minutes or less. So when they start flashing. Still nobody else has their lights on. You have to look again. I forgot to look to see where exactly that one that left was going to. Or at least mention it.
St. Thomas Tower, Delta 926 requesting push and start.
Delta 926 pushback approved. Expect runway 10.
Ground, 10 pushback approved. Delta 926.
Yeah, I believe JetBlue was going to Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico. Delta here is going to Atlanta. Yeah, speaking of Atlanta, I was playing Atlanta the other night. I had it on Facebook Live. I don't know if you can go to gaming and look it up. But I did look at a 10 o'clock hour and got really busy with the departures. I kept it pretty good, but it was late at night and about 45 minutes into the game. I started getting really tired. Where you going? There you go. Thought I said runway 10. So I had a few times I had a couple backups, but I mean it was nothing major. Got them cleared out and did pretty good. Usually I don't do advanced games, you know, ones I haven't played yet. I always play the ones I have, but I was curious about how busy I got. They didn't have that many arrivals. There was more departures, so I can't wait to do both arrivals and departures. Like really crazy.
St. Thomas Ground, Delta 926 ready to taxi.
Delta 926, runway 10.
Runway 10 Delta 926.
Come on, move. There you go. Yeah, there's a flight simulator guy that his name is Captain Canada. It's pretty interesting to watch. He always cracks me up. But I thought he did an hour or so of or a couple hours of flying into the island airports, and I thought St. Thomas was one of them he flew into. It seemed like he came in from the other direction over the village and then dropped down onto the runway. Yeah, he's pretty fun to watch. If you really like doing the simulators and that stuff. Except sometimes I'll leave messages. I don't think he knows how to take me because I'm always making wisecracks. I can't take anything serious. Yeah, I found that a lot of these gamers don't get sense of humor, especially mine. 'Cause mine's pretty dry.
St. Thomas Tower, KR 8031 with you runway 10.
KR 8031, enter final runway 10.
Enter final runway 10 KR 8031.
Might be he doesn't. It's not that he doesn't get me. It's just I'm not funny, which is a good possibility. Yeah, when my mom passed away, my sisters and brothers were all here. We went to the funeral home, make arrangements, and poor funeral director, because we were acting really weird. My mom's probably shaking her head up there. Like, man, they can't take anything serious. At least that's the way I handle anything. It's tragic, I always try to make light of it. Sometimes it's the wrong time, and I get in trouble. But it's the way I do things. You know, the funeral director, like I said, knew what to do with us. Delta 926, runway 10, line up and wait.
Runway 10 line up and wait Delta 9 or 26.
Yeah, one of my ex-girlfriends was like that. She got some of my humor, but half the time she didn't get where I was coming from. So it kind of made it rough. Delta 926, wind 80 at 10 knots, runway 10, clear for takeoff.
Wind is 80 at 10 knots, runway 10 cleared for takeoff Delta 9 or 26.
Delta 757 heavy. That's one thing I wish they would, the creators of this would, make you have to say heavy, because that's the way they really do it in real life air traffic control. When the pilot calls you, they'll say Delta 926 heavy, and then air traffic control is supposed to repeat it, call them constantly heavy. That way it lets all the other aircraft know there's a heavy in the area. The reason why they call them heavy is because they displace a lot of air. There's a lot of weight turbulence behind them. It's not so bad up when they're flying, because jet turbulence sinks, so it gets out of the way, but it pretty much dissipates pretty quick. But when they come in for a landing, then you got the ground, and the ground keeps it around longer. If you ever see a plane fly through smoke when they're like landing, and then you see the swirls off the wings, I think it's the left wing goes clockwise and the right wing goes counterclockwise. So with that, if a plane flies through that, it doesn't give time for to dissipate or weaken, it can slam to the ground, throw them around pretty good. So that's why they usually keep like heavy behind a heavy can be like 5 miles. A medium behind a heavy has got to be like 6 miles, and I think a light aircraft behind a heavy has to be 7. It's been a while since I looked that up. I should probably do that. Delta 926, contact departure. Good morning.
Roger, good morning.
Oh, there he is. There. Yeah, about the following distance is super. Following a super is 4 nautical miles. Super following a heavy. A heavy following a super. Super following a super is 4 nautical miles. A heavy following a super is 6. A large aircraft following a super is 7. And a small following a super is 8. And then a heavy following a heavy is 4 nautical miles. A large following a heavy is 5. Small following a heavy is 6. And a small following a large is 4 nautical miles. They used to not consider a 757 as a heavy, but they had a bunch of problems with aircraft following one getting knocked around pretty good, so they reclassified it as a heavy. You don't want to get in a white turbulence, especially close to the ground, because more than likely you're going to hit the ground. On an instrument approach, the controller pretty much keeps them a distance, safe distance away from the heavies and supers. But if you're on a visual, then it's pretty much up to you to maintain the distance. Alright. Gear 8031, vacate right on the taxiway, Charlie.
Negative. KR 8031.
KR 8031, taxi to ramp.
Taxi to ramp KR 8031.
We got two aircraft, look like they're going to be taking off. Got one here, and one here. Yeah, I read that St. Thomas, they're rebuilding their terminals, making it a lot nicer. Yeah, he came in from Puerto Rico. TJSJ. My Spanish is a bit terrible. I can't pronounce the name of the airport. Alright, be back.
St. Thomas Tower, KR 8041 requesting push and start.
KR 8041 pushback approved, expect runway 10.
Ground, 10 pushback approved. KR 8041. St. Thomas ground, KR 8041 ready to taxi.
Carrier 8041, runway 10.
Runway 10 KR 8041.
Here we go, finally. So much fun. Yeah, the carrier aircraft does a lot of high island hopping. Yeah, it's like Puerto Rico, St. Thomas, Puerto Rico, Puerto Rico to St. Croix, Croix back to Puerto Rico, Croix to St. Thomas to Croix. I think they also fly to the Dominican Republic. Carrier 8041, wind 77 at 11 knots, runway 10, clear for takeoff.
Wind is 77 at 11 knots, runway 10 cleared for takeoff, KR 8041.
Carrier 8041, contact departure. Good morning.
Roger, good morning.
St. Thomas Tower, Carrier 8561 requesting push and start.
Carrier 8561, pushback approved. Expect runway 10.
Ground, 10 pushback approved. Carrier 8561.
Looks like this will be finishing up unless somebody comes in. The American here is not going to be ready.
St. Thomas Ground, Carrier 8561 ready to taxi.
Carrier 8561, runway 10.
Runway 10 Carrier 8561.
Yeah, earlier I was talking about the air traffic control in Boston, John. There's also one that's retired in New York. I think it's Kennedy Steve. He's pretty funny too. He's got the Boston or the New York attitude where he sounds like he's ticked off at you. And really, New Yorkers, it doesn't take much to get ticked off at you anyway. When I was driving a truck, I always hated going to New York. I'm in a big semi truck trying to deliver downtown on downtown Manhattan, and the light turns green and everybody's on their horn. It's like, really? I'm in a truck. I'm not gonna go that fast. There was an Orthodox Jewish town north of New York City. I delivered some windows. They were building a house. I thought I was delivering it to a construction company. They gave me the directions, and the streets are getting narrower and narrower and narrower. So I was like, oh man, I'm in a subdivision. Sure enough, turned down the street. It's a dead-end street. So the guy comes out, he unloads me. In the meantime, when I'm trying to get into the place, I had the street blocked. I'm trying to get the trailer going around without climbing up on people's drives or yards. Carrier 8561, wind 78 at 11 knots, runway 10 clear for takeoff.
Negative. Carrier 8561.
Carrier 8561, runway 10 cleared for takeoff.
Runway 10 cleared for takeoff. Carrier 8561.
So in the meantime, people behind me, they're honking, they're driving around me, up through people's yards to get around me. And then I asked the guy if he could stop traffic so I could back up, because I had to back down the street to get out since it was a dead end. He's like, yeah, no problem. Same thing happened, man. They would not stop for the poor guy. I finally got the trailer out, and they were again going up in people's yards to get around me. I was like, really? You guys can't like wait just a few minutes for me to back all the way out so I can get out? Nope. Yeah, I think there was such a thing as Orthodox Jewish. They don't want to wear the black hat, the long black coats. And they're really super religious. That's why I'm surprised that they were so impatient. Let them learn, let them learn. Carrier 8561, contact departure, good morning.
Roger, good day.
Alright, that's it, 9 o'clock, I'm done. No violation, big ol' 50 points, woohoo. Alright, the next video for Tower 3D Pro will be Memphis, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Alright, appreciate you watching, have a good one, thanks, bye.